So Bloomberg NEF had an article saying that the electric vehicle sales have fallen 18% in 2020, but still very positive outlook for the future. Now, what's interesting is when you think, that, EVs have dropped 18%, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's really bad. Well, if there's a good point to that, it's that overall car market is expected to shrink by 23%. So the EVs are being hit less hard than all the other vehicles. But even with the forecasted drop this year, they're still expected, and of course these are all estimates and speculations, but they believe that by the year 2040, trends will be such that electric vehicles will account for 58% of new passenger car sales globally, which would be about 31% of the whole car fleet, if you as you account for attrition and whatever. And they make further speculations by 2040. They say that buses, 67% electric, and already we're seeing a lot of the two-wheelers, and they're including little scooters and things globally. And we know how big electric scooters are in places, China and India, starting to hit the market in the United States. 47% of two-wheelers, they say, will be electric by the year 2040. And I know that's 20 years off, but just think, 15 years ago, when we were looking at, just hybrids, we didn't even have like EVs on the market, but hybrids were like 0.3% of the market. So even to go out 20 years and say that, 58% of new cars could be EVs, that's a huge turnaround. One more piece before we open this up for discussion. One more piece, and this is interesting to me. The speculation that 2017 was the peak for internal combustion engine car sales.
That is interesting. Yeah, so that they expect to never recover back to that 2017 level?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if batteries keep getting cheaper and companies start giving million-kilometer warranties, they're not going to be financially competitive very soon.
Yep. Right, and so it makes sense that buses would lead because that's managed by fleet managers, and they're looking at total cost of ownership.
Mm-hmm. Right. And they're saving with fuel, they're saving with maintenance, saving with everything. And we look at, and we're starting to see it more possibly in regular cars, but the EVs, of course, the kick in the butt for Tesla, bringing in over-the-air updates. So now you have a car with a 1,000,000-kilometer warranty, 15-year warranty, and the car is going to get updated on a regular basis, constantly improving the car. I mean, seriously, what's not to love about that?
Yeah. I've got two comments about this article. The title, they say EVs drop by 18%, but you could say, since gas-powered cars are dropping by more than that EV market shares grows, right? So, I mean, it's all about how you phrase it. Because, if gas cars are dropping by 23%, EVs only by 18%, now a higher percentage of them are EVs than they were previously. So it's all in how you phrase that math there.
Right. Fair enough.
And then the second one, go ahead, Paul.
I was just going to interrupt, sorry. With the economy where it is and the big auto whining that they're not going to have any customers, they might do a cash for clunkers thing. And a lot of these people trading in their 2002 Camrys might go, hey, maybe it's time to get an EV, So that could help stimulate sales.
Yeah, we saw hybrids take off during cash for clunkers, the original.
Yeah.
Another cash for clunkers is a good idea for economic stimulus and improving the vehicle emissions. That's a great idea.
Assuming the clunkers really do end up being decommissioned and recycled. If we're simply sending them offshore to somewhere else where they'll stay.
In the last round of cash for clunkers, they actually had to put a cocktail in the engine and run the engine till it exploded. And
And then they had to verify and certify anyone who.
Can I have that job? I want.
Blowing up engines.
Anyone who cheated was subject to massive fines.
But go on YouTube and search Cash for Clunkers engine destructions, and they poured this stuff in the engine that after a few minutes would destroy it. And all these videos of junkyards doing it, and it's like Jimmy Bob and Billy Joe going, "Hey, let's see if it blows up real good."
Blowed up real good.
Yeah.
Is that stuff commercially available? Because I got a neighbor kid with a car that's just really loud.
Pour it in his Mustang.
Now.
Oh wait, is anyone recording this? Are we?
No, nobody watches this show.
Okay, yeah, right.
Just
But
your
yeah,
lawyer.
they had to literally
Okay.
destroy every engine of every car that got sent in, and then they painted the engine pink. So if it got to the junkyard and you went to buy parts, and you saw a pink engine in the junkyard, you wouldn't touch it because you knew it was defective internally.
Oh wow. Patrick, I want to get back to your part number 2.
Okay. Yeah, so part number 2 was they have 2040 as their year. And I think that's a little conservative, just because the way that these things go, technology has a long, slow growth. It's a sinusoid, right? So, and then it hits the hockey stick, and then things change. So it takes 20 years to be an overnight success. And EVs are on that path of right now they're getting a little better every year. And there's going to be a point in time when they become cheaper to buy than an equivalent gas car. And they're faster, and they're cheaper to fuel, and they have less maintenance, and they're quieter, and they're quicker, and they have more tech. And it's going to happen, that hockey stick. So I don't think we have to wait till 2040 to get to about 50% sales. I think that'll happen in the end of 2020s, 2029, 2030. So I'm more optimistic than they are. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not that unrealistic, but I don't think it'll be 20 years to get to half of the new car sales.
Look at smartphones, right? In 2007,
Yeah.
very few people had a smartphone, and now who doesn't have a smartphone, right?
Yeah, so in 2030, if you're going to shop for a car, it would be like thinking about getting a flip phone versus a smartphone today. Yeah, you're not even going to seriously consider a flip phone today. So you wouldn't really consider a gas car in 2030 unless you have a very niche reason that you need it.